Kugat was once a Nurgling sitting upon the shoulder of Nurgle. Whilst Nurgle was mixing his most virulent toxin ever, Kugat tumbled from his nesting place into the cauldron, where he took a great draught of the filthy contents and swelled with its power. Invigorated, Kugat drank and drank until the cauldron was nearly empty and he had grown into a Great Unclean One. Nurgle laughed at the antics of his Nurgling, who had become the embodiment of the perfect disease that had been bubbling within the cauldron. Kugat, however, realized that he had robbed his father of the greatest disease ever concocted, and has since been wandering the universe, searching for the perfect ingredients to recreate the toxin for Nurgle. He also captures those whom his diseases corrupt and take them back to his lair, where he can observe their degeneration more closely. As the Horus heresy raged, Kugat was among the greater demons summoned into real space by the Thousand Suns during the battle for Terra. After the Lion's Gate spaceport fell to the traitors, the demons were unleashed to destroy the Imperial Palace's Colossi Gate. While they succeeded in tearing down the gate's outer defenses, the demons were destroyed by the White Scar Stormseers and the Adeptus Custodes before they could complete their task. During the Gistos Cataclysm in M41, Kugat is known to have led the demonic forces who besieged the planetary governor's fortress. In 927. M41, Kugat was summoned on the agri-world of Kerwin at the head of the demonic legion. A Grey Knight strike force arrived, and Justicar Anvil Thon led a force into the very heart of the demonic horde to avoid encirclement. Kugat swallowed the purifier whole, but Thon detonated his weapon inside the demon's throat and burst from its body. Kugat was slain and banished back to the warp. Kugat appears again in 998. M41. When intervention of Justicar Styre and his Grey Knights and attempts of Inquisitor Malia Orbiana to find on the planet Squire's Rest of Sanctus reach biological weapons against orcs, led to the manifestation in reality the Bone Rack disease, once lost Kugat's infection. Later the Grey Knight managed to defeat Kugat and his horde of plague-bearers and expel demons to the warp. Kugat himself was defeated by the blow of Librarian Garrod when his nemesis Greatsword bisected Kugat's head. In 012. M42 during the Plague Wars, he appeared on Ix leading 7 hosts of demons, trying to destroy it because of its conversion to a hospital planet, something that caused death to Nurgle's gifts. During the war on Ix he was given a portion of Nurgle's own cauldron, which he attempted to use to concoct a brew that could slay Robute Guilliman. Kugat's plan later came to a head at Parmenio, where the demon failed to kill Guilliman, who instead slew his lieutenant Septicus. Despite the setback on Parmenio, Kugat was able to use some blood he gathered from Guilliman there to complete his ultimate disease, the Godblight. Going against Nurgle's own orders to withdraw to the Scourge Stars in order to wage the war and the rift, the Great Unclean One instead sought to earn greater glory by remaining in Ultramar and continuing his alliance with Mortarion. Upon Ix, Kugat sought to use Nurgle's cauldron in combination with Guilliman's death in order to move all of Ultramar into the Garden of Nurgle, but was foiled when he was assailed by an Imperial strike force of Space Marines and Cadians led by Colonel Odramaer. Kugat was able to defeat all the Space Marines but was slain when Odramaer rammed his Leman Russ battle tank into the demon and delivered a point-blank power sword strike directly into his skull. Moreover, his portion of the Cauldron of Nurgle was destroyed thanks to the efforts of the militant Apostolic Matu. Due to this and his prior insubordination, Rotigus would inform the still regenerating Kugat in the warp that both he and Mortarion had earned Nurgle's ire. Kugat would not be able to re-manifest into the Imperium for quite some time, and even worse had lost his status as the most favored of Nurgle's demon.